a Bold for Christ YouTube channel here, and I want to keep things real as I have been trying to keep things real for quite a while now. And today I want to talk about not, I want to be clear on this, I'm not talking about polygamy, okay? Because polygamy infers a woman can have multiple husbands, and that's filthy and disgusting. So I'm not talking about polygamy, but I am talking about the subject that a man can and should be able to, not should have, but should be able to have multiple wives. And really, it's not anything that's permission needed. You don't need permission from the government to do it. Now, another thing I want to be very clear on right up front is this. It is a very honorable, it's a very honorable thing for a man to go through his whole life with only one wife. Okay, that's an honorable thing. In fact, even the Apostle Paul mentions in the Bible that there are certain positions within the church that only a man with one wife can have those positions. So I'm not here saying that every man should go out and get a second wife. Okay, in fact, if you can do without a second wife, that's probably more honorable in the eyes of God than if you had two wives. Okay, but what I'm saying here is God's been opening my eyes to this, and I've kept my mouth shut about it for a long time. Excuse me, I'm going to pause to clear my throat. After my morning cup of tea, I have to clear my throat a lot. So God's been revealing things to me over the past, I'd say, maybe 4 years, opening my eyes to some different things, showing me some different things. And I've kept my mouth shut on it a long time because I really wanted to put the time in on this topic. And I've read through the Bible a couple times since then, and I've gone through the script. I'm not gonna do a Bible study on this right now, okay? Maybe someday I will, but I've gone through the scriptures that everybody says for or against. Okay, I've done all that. And what I've come to the conclusion of, and I always leave myself a way out, like maybe you got to be careful because I say this a lot. The devil is smarter than us. He can deceive us, right? And so that's why I'm not here teaching people you can go get another wife. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm just saying my beliefs at this moment are that a man can have multiple wives, and it's not a sin. And I'm not talking about fornication. I'm not talking about adultery, okay? To have a second wife means you care for that woman until the day she dies, okay? You don't ever, and also there's some other things. You've got to keep the marriage bed undefiled. You don't have multiple wives in the same bed, okay? That's filthy and disgusting too. I'm talking about one man and one woman here, one man and one woman here. Same man, two different women, but it's still one man and one woman. It's still one man and one woman, okay? So these are the things that the Lord's been opening my eyes on. And then I was watching this. I never try to take credit for myself. And you'll hear a lot of preachers, they'll give a message, but what they don't tell you is they heard that message from, say, maybe a teacher in seminary, or they heard it from another preacher, another pastor. They've heard their messages. They're just regurgitated messages. It's very rare you actually hear a message from a preacher that's something new, right? So I'm not going to say the name of this person, but I will say I got this from another individual. It was actually a woman. And the question was posed by this woman: where has monogamy gotten our society? Where has it gotten our society? And see, government, the main reason monogamy exists is because the government doesn't want competition. So let me ask you a question. Think about this, please. Have you ever noticed the government does not care if you have 100 girlfriends and you impregnate every one of them. You abort half the babies, okay? They don't care one iota about the dead babies. They don't care one iota about all the women walking around with fatherless children. They don't care about you fornicating with 100 different women, living the high life in fornication, so you think, right? But God forbid you want to go get a second marriage license, and you want to marry a woman, and you want to marry a second woman, and you want to do it right, and you want to raise a family, and you want to have 20 kids or 10 kids or whatever it is, and you want to have a farm, and you want to teach your children to work a farm, and you want to build houses, and you want to have this giant family someday, right? Where you gather in the field and you have a beautiful feast with a table that's 30 feet long and all your wives and your children, right? And you create this legacy. God forbid you do something as beautiful as that, right? The government will not say a word to you if you impregnate 100 women, kill half the babies, leave the other half fatherless. They don't care. So the government is not out for your best interest, right? Now they'll come after you for child support. They'll come after you for child support for each and every one of those, right? Because they want to enslave you and they want to defeat the man. Because what does the man represent? The man poses a threat to government. When men are strong and men raise strong children and strong families, this is a threat to government. So how does government stay in power? They stay in power by tearing down the man. How do you tear down the man? You build up the woman. You plant false ideas in the head of woman. Oh, you're strong. You're independent. You can do it without a man. You don't need a man. You don't need this. You don't need that, right? You teach women about rebellion. You teach women about jealousy, right? Oh, is your man cheating on you? This, that. You better go cheat on your man. You better do this, okay? That's where monogamy has gotten this country, okay? Like I said, I've said this in a past video. If a man impregnates a woman and does not take her to be his wife and does not take care of that child, it should be punishable by death, stoning. The people would do it, not some paid government person. No, the people of that town or that village would do it. And see, when God starts to reveal this stuff, and you start to get all these pieces of the puzzle put together, he starts to erase this memory, this brainwashing that's occurred in your mind, right? And a lot of knowing truth is not learning something, it's forgetting the brainwashing that we've been taught. See, I have a lot of understanding about the way law works and the differences between law and legislation and legalities, the difference between a man and a person. I have a ton of knowledge on this. And it's not something that I necessarily learned, okay? Because I'm not this, million IQ. I can read something, have photographic memory. It's not like, no, I'm not like this super genius guy that learned all this cool stuff. It was more God erasing the brainwashing that was in my mind. And once you get all the brainwashing and all the lies erased from your mind, the only thing left is the truth, right? So it's not like there's a bunch of truth to be learned. It's a matter of there's a bunch of lies to be lost and forgotten, right? And so we have a disgusting, horrible society. And I'm pretty sure there's no turning it back, okay? Because things are increasing exponentially. Sin is increasing exponentially. Technology is increasing exponentially. And if God allows it to keep going like this, it's going to hit a wall and just explode, right? And I think Jesus returns before that occurs. It's kind of like Sodom and Gomorrah. Like, this place was just so lost. There wasn't even 10 righteous people in this town. And God's like, okay, this is done. Let's destroy it. And I think that's evidence of what's happening in this world. That was a foreshadowing of when God's going to destroy this world, is when we're just at the end. Okay, technology's growing so fast. You know, women doing these, like, it used to be for, you know, a woman to get sexually famous, like she had to get into this. I don't even want to say it. I hate talking this stuff. I hate it. But she had to get into this industry, and I know you know what I'm talking about. She had to get into this industry, right, where she gets exposed on video and all these things, right? But now it's like every woman has this, if you want to call it power, okay? I don't know, because it's not real power. It's actually enslavement. But just for the sake of argument here, let's call it that every woman has this ability, okay, to have this whole industry in her home, okay? And they don't have to be part of this industry anymore. They can just do it right in their house. I don't even want to say the name of the websites, but these websites they can go to, and they get men that go to them, and it's pretty disgusting. It's pretty disgusting. And so we're at this point now where society is about to hit this wall. Technology every day is just increasing, right? Man's growing increasingly more powerful. I shouldn't say man. It's like government. It's like the devil, you know, with this technology. And with this technology, they're subduing the people more and more, oppressing them, holding them down, controlling them, right? So something has to happen here. Either the devil just takes complete control, or God's going to return to destroy it all. So that's why I don't think this can necessarily be reversed or turned back or undone. It can't really be, but that's not to say there's not sects of society. There's not pockets of society that can survive through this until the return of Jesus Christ. And not necessarily going to survive the tribulation, right? Because when the tribulation is here, you know, bloodthirsty zombies are going to hunt them down probably wherever they are in a ranch in the middle of, you know, some jungle of some country, right? But even at that, it's not like it should still be attempted, right? We still need God. You know, God gave human these instincts to survive. He gave all life instinct to survive, and as an instinct to survive, we should do what we can to survive. Okay, so the main topic, though, today is talking about, I believe at this moment in time, after examining this for the past 4 years, I believe it is not a sin, and in many cases, it's a good thing for a man to have a bigger family with multiple wives. I don't think this should get taken out of control. If I had to put a number on it, I'd say definitely never more than 7, okay? Because there's 7 days in a week. Probably 3 is the magic number. I'm just saying. There's nothing wrong with having one wife. It's a very honorable thing. I think that's probably preferred if a man finds a woman and they love each other and he has no need, there's no reason for him to take on another wife, then I think having that one wife is the most honorable thing. And maybe he'll be more honored on the day of judgment for just having that one wife. But I do not think that a man with 2 wives, 3 wives, will be judged as a sinner if he did right with those wives and with his families. And he raised them, and he provided for them, and he cared for them, and he did everything the way he was supposed to do. And he loved his wives with the way Christ loved the church. He was willing to take a bullet or die for them if need be. So anyways, that's something I want to talk about. I just wanted to bring that up today. When the Lord puts something on my mind, I want to make sure it's the Lord before I speak it. And there's things that have been developing in my mind for many years that I don't speak. I wait and I wait and I wait and I wait. And so today's the day, I think, for me to address this and to talk about this. So please leave your comments. God bless you very much. Thank you for watching. If you've gotten to the end of this, this is longer than one of my normal videos. It's over 15 minutes. And anyways, God bless you. Please leave a comment. Let me know what you think. If you don't like it, that's fine. Let me know. Real quick, I want to say one more thing if you stayed with me this long. My wife abandoned me over 2 years ago. Okay? I have not so much as kissed another woman in 2 years. And it's not because like, oh, I can't get a woman. It's not because like I'm just incapable, right? Okay? Believe me, I'm capable. Okay? Where I live right now, the women love that I don't have brown eyes. Okay? They call me Blondie, right? Women like me here. Okay? I don't have women like throwing themselves at me. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like one of those guys, right? But it wouldn't be a problem for me. It would not be a problem for me. Okay? But I've been without a woman since my wife abandoned me. Because I only want God's will in my life. If God wants my wife to return to me, I'll receive her. I may not ever be with her again depending on what she's been with, right? Or what she's done. But I would, see, I'm still married to her. She could get a divorce from me. Maybe she has, I don't know. She could write a divorce on me, get a legal divorce. And in the eyes of God, if I have not released that woman, she still belongs to me. So when she's ready, I have a house paid off for her. I have a life for her. When she's ready, if she ever gets ready, I will receive her back. And if I have another wife by then, she has to accept that, hey, you're coming back to your husband who now has another wife, who now potentially has another family. But I will always receive my wife back. I will never reject her. Like I said, I may never be with her again in bed, but I will always receive her back. She will always have a place here. And if I get married, if God brings me a wife, and it has to be God's will, then that woman will know that if my wife comes back, she's coming back. She has a home. I'm going to give her a place to live, okay? Because that's what I'm commanded to do as a man. So anyways, God bless you. If you want to, feel free to judge me or whatever, go ahead. I don't care. So God bless. Have a good day.